Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I rise to speak at third reading in favour of Bill 30. I think an investor tax credit is seeing Alberta catch up with other jurisdictions. It's good for Alberta entrepreneurs, and it's good for Alberta. I also want to acknowledge and give credit to the government for realizing that an investor tax credit makes a lot more sense than their original job creation grant program. That, I think, is something we don't often see from a government that ran a certain platform. They've discovered that something may have looked good in a campaign platform that doesn't actually make sense in practice. I think any time that happens, a government making a good decision based on good data, I think we ought to recognize that and acknowledge them for doing that. I also appreciate the minister's willingness to accept reasonable and thoughtful amendments from a couple of different opposition parties, myself included. The member from Calgary-Fish Creek had presented several amendments that were accepted, and I sincerely hope that those amendments have made the bill better. Sadly, life's not perfect. We didn't get all the amendments that we would have liked to see approved. One of the most important amendments I would have liked to see would be defining what sectors are included in the investor tax credit in particular. The wording in the bill as it stands now and as it appears will be passed into law is very vague and gives really all of the power to the minister to define the eligible areas. We have a news release from the government here that talks about allowing investment in small and medium Alberta businesses in sectors such as information technology, clean technology, health technology, interactive digital media and game products and post-production, visual effects, and digital animation. That seems like a reasonable area. I would like to see more in the way of agriculture, agri-food, and the world of agriculture is a tremendously technically advanced area and certainly could benefit from some investment as well. But my concern is we don't know what those parameters will be to determine those industries, and it has been left vague and left up to the minister to choose. Now, the minister assures us that these are the areas, broadly speaking, that will be included, and of course we have to take him at his word for that. I would have, though, liked to see that actually enshrined in the legislation so investors and Alberta entrepreneurs and businesses could know exactly what it would be, what exactly is included. So I think it would be better if this bill is broad as possible, if the tax credit is as broad as possible. And I also think bigger is better. I would like to see more money, frankly, applied to investor tax credit. $30 million a year on one level sounds like a lot of money, and I think it will be leveraged to create multiple tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars in investment in Alberta business. Very good thing, but I'd like to see, I think, that be even larger than it is. And I also think that while there is a reporting provision in the bill, the specifics of when the minister will report, how often the minister will report, have not been amended into the bill. We tried to put that in, and that was not accepted. I think it's very important that we have proper reporting so we know if, in fact, this is a success. If it is a success, how many jobs have been created? How many millions of dollars have been invested in Alberta that may not have otherwise been? Or conversely, if it's not working. If there are monies being invested in Alberta that, frankly, were going to be invested anyway, and now we as taxpayers have simply subsidized that. Now, I don't think that's likely to happen to a large extent. Other programs like this in other provinces have shown to be quite effective. But if we don't measure, we can't manage, and we don't know. And I think that's an important role for us here in this Assembly, and I would know in the Minister's office it's an important role for them as well. And once we have that data, we can then decide whether or not the $30 million a year allocated is an appropriate amount, if it should have been more or, frankly, could be less. But with all of those concerns aside, I still will happily support this bill. I think it's good for Alberta. I think it moves us forward. Again, credit to the minister for taking this approach. And I really look forward to seeing positive results for Alberta business and Alberta entrepreneurs and Alberta jobs. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.